Okay.
Actually 9:32, and I will call this meeting to order. All right, so I don't know if I have to read all this, but the town of Lunenburg, in response to COVID-19, is currently following the guidance from the Lunenburg Board of Health, Massachusetts Department of Public Health, and CDC regarding the virus and steps communities can take to prevent the spread, and all town facilities are currently closed to the public in accordance with the governor's order suspending certain provisions of open law meeting GLC 30A20. All public meetings are being conducted remotely. The following information is provided for members of the public that would like to participate in the meeting remotely. To participate remotely from a computer, please link blah, 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 blah. So, not all items listed, in fact, may be discussed. Items not listed may be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by open law meeting. And I am calling us to order. Does anybody have any announcements?
Before we begin, I just want you all to know that Cheryl's husband, Richard, is coming home on Thursday, probably with visiting nurses. She wanted you to know that, so I don't want to interrupt the meeting with anything, okay?
Oh, that's good news. That's great. All right.
That's good.
All right. Well, we all send our best to Cheryl for sure. Okay. Any public comment from the public? Since we don't have any public, I guess we will skip ahead. Has everybody has a chance to read the minutes?
Yeah.
Yes. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I make that motion to accept.
I second it.
All right. Any discussion? Everybody approve the minutes? I guess I have to go around the way this works. Sarah, do you approve the minutes? Sarah? All right. Jane? Do you approve?
Yeah.
Betty?
Yes, although I didn't read them away.
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Susan?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Pete?
Yes.
All right. Anybody opposed? All right, the minutes are approved. All right, on to our current business. The COA people who are up for reappointments are Cheryl, who can't be here, Diane, and Sarah. And I believe all the paperwork for those three people has been submitted. I know Diane submitted hers. Sarah, you sent yours in, correct?
You're not
She
hearing
can't hear me. Sarah, you can't hear me, right? Okay, that's not good. And I know I got the paperwork to Cheryl, and I believe that she has turned it in.
I don't
So-
think so.
No, she hasn't turned it in?
I don't think so. She didn't have an opportunity to read it all over and do it.
Okay, but I know that she does wish to return. I did
Yeah,
speak with her
that's
directly.
right.
So all three of our people wish to return. So this is a little funky because normally we would have had a meeting in May and you all would have had a chance to vote on these people. So I'd like to hear some feedback from you folks about what you would like to do, because technically they are up the end of this month.
I'd like to make a motion, we accept the three members for renomination.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on that? All right. Shall we vote?
Have to vote again.
All right. Shall we vote the same way? I know Sarah can't hear me. Pete's made a motion and it's been seconded that we approve these three members for reappointment. So, Jane, do you approve that motion?
Yes.
Jane,
Yes.
you approve the
Can you
motion?
hear me?
Yes, I heard you.
Yes, I
Betty?
approve the emotion.
Betty?
Okay.
You approve? Betty?
I do.
Okay. Diane,
Yes.
Susan,
Yes.
Judy,
Yes.
Pete.
Yes, I do.
All right. Anyone opposed? All right, the motion passes. Congratulations to our 3 members who are continuing. All right. The next item is voting for our fiscal year 21 COA chairperson and vice chairperson. And again, we're in the same situation where there would have been nominations. Oh, by the way, before I move forward, I spoke with Barbara Brown on the phone and gave her these 3 people's names, and she thoroughly approved of them continuing. And as I move forward with this next item, I discussed this next item with her, and she has no problem with the current chairperson and vice chairperson continuing as well. So we said, although it's not official, I did discuss it with her and she has no objections. So the next item is voting for the fiscal year 21 COA chairman and vice chairman. I would like some discussion on that because we're in the same situation with that. These people are both up at the end of June.
I'd like to make a motion, we renominate the same 2 officers. They never really got a chance to do anything that they'd like to do this year. I think the time that Deb and Jane spent on this, they did a terrific job.
I second.
Okay,
Are there any other nominations?
are there any other nominations? Anybody like to propose anyone else for either of these 2 offices? All right.
No.
Thank you, Judy. All right, so Pete has a
Motion.
motion on the floor. So we'll go around and take, Sarah can't hear me. I feel terrible. So Jane, how do you feel about the motion? Do you approve it?
I approve it. I just want to tell you I'm feeling well, so I should be able to be at meetings once we open up. So
All right, great. That's great news. All right, Betty,
Yes, of course.
Diane.
Definitely.
All right, Susan,
Definitely.
Judy,
yes.
Pete.
Certainly.
All right, anyone opposed? All right. Discussion? All right, the motion passes. Thank you very much for your vote of confidence. Jane and I, I'm sure, will have more opportunities next year. Thank you. All right. The new Council on Aging Board member orientation and the COA bylaws, policies, and procedures. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm really not comfortable doing this on Zoom because we need these papers in front of us. We need to discuss them, I think, in person. So unless anybody has any objection, I'd really like to table them until we can get together in person with these papers in front of us. Betty, you have a comment? I can't hear you, hon.
Can't hear her either.
No? Anyone?
So moved.
Agree.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Again, we'll go around and see how everyone feels about that. Is there any discussion? All right. We have a motion on the table to table these next 2 items, items 3 and items 4, until we can get together in person to discuss those items. So Sarah? Okay, I can see her head move, so I think that's a yes. Jane?
Yes.
Betty?
Yes.
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Susan?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Pete?
Yes.
All right, anyone opposed? All right, the motion is passed. Thank you all. All right, I think we're moving on to the director's report.
Okay, I do think we'll be able to meet here next month because the meeting is going to be later in the month on the 21st. So I'm fairly positive we can do this social distancing in the whole 9 yards. So, and who knows where we'll be then. Anyways, so since March, what was it, March 13th, and we were going to have our big St. Patty's Day celebration, and that got a squash at 7:15 a.m. in the morning. But, you know, we still have everybody's money for the tickets and all that stuff. We're still hanging on to it until, because we can't see anybody anyways to return money to, especially cash. So that's on hold. Staff has been coming in staggered. Amanda and Pauline have been delivering Meals on Wheels, and Jim McQuiggan has also been delivering Meals on Wheels. Sandy has been coming in and getting them all together for everybody on Mondays and Wednesdays, because they combine the meals, which has been a challenge. People have not been getting what they usually get. They've been skipping on the goodie bags, we'll say, with the bread and the butter and the milk and the dessert and the fruit and stuff like that. So mostly they have been getting hot meals, but they've been getting a ton of frozen meals also. So hopefully that can go back to normal again soon with everyday delivery, and we can get our volunteers back in for that. When the staff come in now, beginning last week, they started up again. The town started having office staff come into the buildings and, you know, making their plans of how they're going to social distance and everything. We're all required to watch a video from the state on the COVID and sign a paper. We have signage everywhere throughout the building. We're masked, we're gloved, we're all 6 feet apart from each other. You know, there's sanitizer everywhere. There's new wall mount sanitizers throughout for when we do get back into business. We will be, today was our first drive-up coffee shop, which is ending at 10 o'clock. And the customers started coming at 9, and it was the normal customers that come to the Wednesday coffee shop. So that was good. It was nice to see people. Thursdays, we're going to be doing a drive-up brown bag lunch, which we want people to call and make a reservation for, just because it's more entailed. We have to make sure we have the right stuff. You know, I'm not going to go out and buy 3 pounds of ham and cheese and nobody show up. That's a waste. And then on Fridays, we are doing drive-through lemonade and ice cream social. So they'll get a can of lemonade and like an ice cream sandwich or a hoodsie or something like that. And all this is free because I asked Executive Office of Elder Affairs if we could use our remaining formula grant monies on it. And normally they don't let you purchase food with it. And I told him what was going on. And he said, absolutely, you have my permission to do it. So what I did was, because of course we didn't have Zumba classes, pickleball instruction for the rest and things like that. So I had money in the formula grant. So I put in POs for $500 gift cards to Hannaford so we can purchase this stuff. So Sandy will be putting together the lunches on Thursday. Ann will be back in on Thursdays and Fridays to help out. And Elsa, she had to go down to 1 day per week because there's really nothing going on here right now, but she's out there now with the coffee and donuts, what she used to do. But she's just happy to be back here, and we're happy to see her, and we're happy to see everybody. So in July, we are going to start the Strongest Seniors exercise videos on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. beginning July 21st. The class size will be limited to 10 people, and they have to call and sign up. Everybody's going to have their temperature taken. They're required to wear a mask unless they can't do it for health reasons when they come in the building. Everything will be done in the big room on the video screen because we can social distance in there the best. Movies will be back beginning July 22nd on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. Same deal, 10 people, you have to call, temperatures, whole 9 yards, things like that. And the grief support is going to come back on the Monday. What is it? The third Monday of the month. And once again, no more than 10 people. But I chose those ones because people need social. That would be the movie. The grief support, people really need that. The people who have been showing up to the grief support, we've never had so many people in it. They really need it right now, being socially isolated and things like that. So they're very happy to come back. And the other one would be for health and wellness, just to get a little bit of exercise and movement going. So, and we'll try not to get the same 10 people to sign up every week. Let somebody else have a chance at it, So that's how we're starting that. I'm hoping in August, maybe to bring back armchair travel, because that's another easy one to do. And, maybe we can do an outside Tai Chi class. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We're taking it very slowly, one step at a time, following the rules. And that's all I can say about that with the COVID-19 report. But like I said, we should be able to meet here next month, so we won't have to Zoom. We did have what's that?
I'd like to interject here that your daily updates from the Eagle House are such a welcome message to everybody. And I think people look forward to it. And I really want to thank you for representing us so well. They are
Thank you.
fabulous. Thank you.
Amanda's like, you're not really like that. Cheerful and upbeat.
They're wonderful.
Thank you. I'm glad you like them. We did have a resignation of a COA van driver, and that is Paul Grunditz, and I will read you that resignation letter. Dear Sue, I hereby tender my resignation as requested. We agreed I cannot do my job from home as a COA driver. I am not comfortable due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I enjoyed working with all of you. Hopefully things will turn around. I wish everyone the best for the future. Thanks for your understanding. Sincerely, Paul Grunditz. So yeah, we had a good conversation on the phone, and thank you to Paul for being our van driver for 5 years. And so that's that. I'm not going to advertise. The van right now is slow. We're doing routine medical appointments, and we started shopping to Hannaford and Lunenburg only this week. So it's still slow in coming, and we're only transporting like one person on the van at a time. And the van has been retrofitted through with sneeze guards on all the seats. The drivers go through a big process. They have to wear a mask. They have sanitizer on board. They sanitize the seats before the people get on, after the people get off. They have to get off the bus and stand 6 feet back, let the person on. And the person obviously has to be able to get on and off the van by themselves, except for wheelchairs. And I checked it out with Mart and with Fire Chief Sully. And he said, you have to touch the wheelchair, and the amount of time you're in contact with the wheelchair is really nothing. So, and Mart said the same thing too. So we're confident with that. We feel comfortable with that. But once again, gloves, sanitizer, the whole 9 yards. Passengers are required to wear the mask and the gloves also. Hairdresser appointments. I do not want to be the one to drop off a client at a hairdresser when they have to wait outside in the parking lot to be called in, and they cannot hang around inside of the building, and it's going to be hot. So we're putting that off until I think the salons can have people in again comfortably and let the clients sit and wait for the bus or wait for their appointment. I know I went and got my hair cut last week, and I sat in the parking lot 20 minutes after my appointment was supposed to start before I got called in because they were so backed up, but I can sit in my car, and we obviously can't keep the van there for that. So, and I also had heard through Leominster Council on Aging that because they use Mott directly, they don't do it like we do it. that Mott is not transporting people to the hairdresser just for that reason. So that will be down the road sometime. People have been calling about bingo and things like that. We are not going to have large crowds or activities where people are touching things like bingo cards. Sorry, girls, mahjong tiles, playing cards for cribbage until everything is pretty much back to normal. I mean, you know, I was thinking we could do throwaway bingo cards but for 10 people, you know, it's another work in progress. But friendly seniors were wondering, and I told them, you know, it looks like their fall fair will probably not happen here because that's a lot of people coming through this building and a lot of touching and all this other stuff. Sarah, I don't know, your tea party's probably not going to happen either, just because of the size of the crowd and the closeness and everything, which is a shame, but maybe we can schedule things for the spring, you know, or later on down the line. We just can't do it. It is a slow process because, of course, the elders are the most vulnerable ones. Did I say that right?
No.
Vulnerable, always the computer. And we just have to follow the rules, do what the governor says, and stick with it, you know? So that's how we're handling the COVID. And we have two of our van drivers, Jim and Dave, they're back on and they're happy to be working again. So that's good. Pauline we're going to have our own in-house Shine counselor now. Shine has been difficult at best because we had the volunteer Shine counselor coming here once a month and you can't do that. And sometimes, you know, it would be on different days. So Pauline has been taking the course through Shine and she just finished it up. She's not completely certified yet, but we are so pleased that we will have our own Shine counselor in-house. So if somebody comes up any day of the week and needs help with an insurance problem, she'll be here for that. So that's great. And that was one of my goals in the beginning, to get somebody certified to be here for that and not have to rely on once a month. So that's happening. We've been doing all kinds of stuff, you know, we've been on the computer and booking rides, and Amanda's been, you know, doing data entry, and we've been busy working for home, but now we're in here full time again, and that feels good. The senior tax work-off program, of course, that kind of came to a screeching halt because everything was closed. I did have a call from a participant yesterday that works over at the library, and I said, that's totally up to the library director on, you know, when he wants you in there. So she's getting in touch with him. If the town departments allow them back in, it's back on. They can still do it. They have up until November 1st to do this, November 1st or November 3rd. So it's just that they just won't have as much time in unless they really hustle to get it done. But that is still on if anybody is asking. So in the upcoming events, I already went through that. The Tuesday's coffee donut drive-through, Thursday's brown bag lunch, and Friday's lemonade ice cream social. Activities coming back online again in July. Some activities, and that's it. That's all I got.
So what's the story with the Discovery site? Is that on hold as well?
No, they have been training. Well, they have upcoming trainings coming up. Susan is involved in it. Jamie Toll's involved in it, and Lori and Tessier. They are my transition navigators.
Okay, so that's still happening.
It's still happening, and
Great.
I'm still hoping to. I mean, people will be able to come into the building by appointment. So once we get the transition navigators all trained and filled in on everything, they should be able to see. We're hoping to kick it off in September. And they should be able to come up here by appointment and meet with the transition navigator. But like I said, they're still in transition of being trained. So, and they have not had the training yet.
Okay.
But it's scheduled. Susan, is it June 18th?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes, June 18th in the morning.
Yeah. So everything has been Zooming through that. So it's been different.
I have a question.
Betty,
In the end of March, we were supposed to get the generator for the Eagle House.
Nope.
No? Not
No,
happening?
no, I think that was added into a capital plan. That was never written in stone.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
What they approved was having the kitchen renovation done
Okay.
in the big room there. But of course, that's been put on hold, and who knows what's going to happen with the budget now. The other thing is the Green Communities Task Force went for some kind of a grant. And I was watching the selectmen's meeting one night, and Dave Blatt on Green Communities said that part of the grant could be used towards part of our kitchen renovation if we need energy efficient equipment. And so I sent him an email the next day and I said, you know, would that include like a new dish sanitizer, dishwasher? I never heard back from him. And then the day before the grant was due, I got a call from Heather because I was working at home that day, and she said, you know what you want? I'm like, I never heard back from him. So I hustled, got 3 quotes, and then they said, that's great, which one do you want? And I'm like, well, I don't like to operate like this. So I said, well, I'll take the $7,000 one because that's what I have now, that's what I know. I don't know what the other 2 are like, and I don't know what's going on with that. So we shall see.
all right. Anybody else have any questions? Because I can't see you, Judy.
No, I'm sorry. I don't know why it doesn't work.
That's okay. I just don't
At
want
least I can hear and see everybody.
All right. Moving on to the Eagle House Supporters Report. There was no meeting, so there is no support. And Pat was sorry that she couldn't be here today. She had some other meeting, I guess she had to attend, and she has nothing that she needed to contribute. So on to notices and communications. Are there any from anyone? No, I'm not hearing anything. All right, board comment. Anyone have comment?
Last week we were watching Chronicle, and there was a segment on the Boston Post cane. Our explanations are much better than theirs were. Since that's in abeyance right now, and we probably can't hold a ceremony, it still could. Kathy could certainly do the work to find out who might be eligible. So
Oh, we can know who's eligible. We have the same information as her.
yeah. So who is it?
I think I don't have it right in front of me. Was Madeline going to be the next one in line, Amanda?
I don't think so. I'm looking right now.
Because we can determine who it is and at least alert the families and make preparations for whenever we be able to do this. That's all.
She's looking.
That's me behind her. It's funny.
Oh, I know. How do you like looking at my nose? How do you like that? Sorry. Ruth Billings. Is she? Agnes Pierce? I don't know how,
Who's ever first?
I don't know who, well, I know, but I still have Clarence Gogan and Lucy Chartrand on this particular list, so I think Agnes Pierce is next.
Okay.
I think Ruth Billings is also gone, so.
What's the name?
Agnes Pierce, okay.
Agnes Pierce.
Agnes Pierce.
All right, is there any other board comment?
Nope.
Again, I'd like to thank Sue and Amanda and Pauline. You've done a fabulous job under these trying times, and you've been creative with these programs that you've come up with to try to get people back up there, and we all owe you a huge debt of gratitude. Thank you so much.
I'd like to say, I want to thank my staff for coming in, because everybody, they thank essential employees, and these two girls have gone door to door, you know, not knowing what to find behind there, delivering food, along with Jim McQuiggan, he came in later, and Sandy, you know, came in, and I want to thank them for doing that, because that was great.
Absolutely. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Pauline. You can't see us, but thank you.
You're welcome.
And we miss you. We cannot wait to get back up there.
Right, Pauline?
All right. Anybody have anything else to say? Oh, thank you, Pauline. There
She's
she
got her
is.
hat off hat on.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's great.
All right. Any other comment from anyone? All right. I cannot wait to see you all in July, hopefully. I'm going to call for an adjournment.
Betty, ask Betty to it.
Oh, Betty, do you have anything else to say?
No, to adjourn.
Oh, Betty, can I
I'm
ask you for a
sorry.
motion?
Putting my papers away. What did you say?
Can I ask you to do your motion to adjourn?
Oh, yes, I make that motion to adjourn.
I second it.
All right. Any discussion? Everybody approve?
Yes.
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 Any opposed?
Yes.
All right. Thank you all. You're the best looking Brady Bunch I've ever seen. All right. I'm officially calling this meeting adjourned. Thank you. See you in July.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay.